And so it is scary. It's scary stepping out of the machine because you don't know how to live without it. But if I can do it, you can do it. I don't have some kind of superpower, super spirituality. I have a God who is a superpower, who is super spiritual. And in key moments, I was able to follow his wisdom. And it is a risk, and it is scary, but it is also an adventure. And it also has drawn me closer to God, which has helped me get out of this over-mechanized, over-institutionalized world.
Where are you going? Welcome to the machine. The machine.
The machine.
The machine. You are part of the machine. You are part of.
You are part of the machine. But you don't know it yet. You are part of the machine. But you don't know it yet. And you? Did you think you could become part of the machine without it killing you? You did, but you were wrong. And now the question becomes, how to back out slowly without dying.
We live in an over-industrialized, over-institutionalized, over-mechanized world. I think we feel it. I see it in movies, I see it in magazines, I see it in posts, conversations, books. We feel it. We know we are stuck in a machine like the Matrix. It's not a visible machine though, guys. It's a political, religious, social, educational, financial construct. It's like the algorithm in the background. We feel it, we can't see it, we can't put our finger on it, but we know it. The question is, can we get out of it? And the answer is yes. It's not a matter of can you get out of this over-institutionalized, mechanized, industrialized world. The question is how and how much. Obviously, there are some modern conveniences that I think we all would say are good and we wouldn't want to part with, and that's fine. Like, this is not a conversation that is fantasy and nostalgia. I'm not talking about going back to the good old days before the cotton gin and before, the plow, right? Where we used stones. We had to chip out stones to create a axe. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm not saying it was better back when we couldn't stave off plague. I'm saying there's a balance, and we have far exceeded the balance. We've gone way past the tipping point. We are now cogs in the machine of this over-industrialized, institutionalized, and mechanized society and world. It's gone too far, guys. And we feel it. Even if we can't express it or name it, we feel it. And so the question is, how do we start to step back? And the real wise approach is to step back slowly. And you can do this, guys. There are practical ways you can start to step back out of the over-institutionalized, mechanized world. Really, it is about, in essence, it's about the difference between needing someone else to do everything for you and being able to start to do more things for yourself, okay? Simple. Here's a simple step that I am doing. I bought a French press and a hand coffee grinder. Every morning I hand grind my coffee and I French press my coffee. The only mechanized part of that process is boiling water on a stove. But guys, I could take both of those items out camping with me and boil the water in a kettle over a fire. My coffee process every morning is completely pulled out of the over-mechanized, industrialized, institutionalized world. It's not that complicated. It takes me an extra 5 minutes every morning, around, all right, approximately, right? That's one way. Here's another way, guys. You don't need all the crap that you have. You don't need all this crap, okay? Figure out the things you really enjoy. Often, guys, we're trying to cram too much into our lives. Too much enjoyment, too much activity. We've got too many things going on and too many things. We're trying to do too much, have too much, gain too much, get too much, control too much. Too much is the problem. Too much. Step it back. Find the few things you like. Find fewer things. Find the things you really like. Because when you're trying to do too much and like too much, you really don't like any of it really well. That's often the case anyway, right? Pick something that you really are passionate about, which also means you got to discover what you're really passionate about. Focus on that for 10 years or 2 or 1 and see if it's really you. You got to give things time. We don't give ourselves the time to really discover ourselves, our world, what we really like, what we're really meant for, because we're just like running helter-skelter through our lives, not really paying attention. And that is the over-mechanized, over-institutionalized, over-industrialized world. It's going too fast and we can't really slow it down to see even what's happening to us. We don't have time to really observe our thoughts, our emotions. It's go, 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 do, get, instead of like, slow down. Is this really me? Is this really something I like? Is this really fulfilling me? Why am I even doing this thing? You know what I'm enjoying in this season of my life? I'm enjoying discovering different blends of pipe tobacco and mixing them together and adding whiskey in to see how that flavors it. And I'm making my own pipes. I'm figuring out how to make pipes. It's a slow process. I made 2 pipes about 6 months ago. One broke in the process of making it. The other broke the first time I smoked it. But man, it's really cool. Like, I'm learning something about a habit and something I enjoy. I'm really getting into it. I'm not just like trying to get into it enough to do it so I can do 10 other things at the same time, but I'm really getting deep into smoking a pipe. This is quiet, this is calm, this is calming, this is peaceful for me. This is a peaceful activity that I do on the weekends, sometimes through the weekdays. It's a beautiful thing, guys, and it's growing into something, and what's the purpose of it? Well, it's not, what is it producing? It's producing space in my life, because an over-mechanized world, once you get that machine ramped up and running, and then it becomes a beast, and then it becomes your master, and then it controls you, and then it kills you. And then you cannot stop it, and you can't get out of it. But you actually can get out of it, but it's not always easy. These are some of the things, and these are some of the ways, and these are some of the things I'm doing to step back from this over-mechanized, over-industrialized, over-institutionalized world. And the guys, the same is true with religion. Religion is over-mechanized, over-institutionalized, over-industrialized. It's a package, it's a product, it's a machine. And it doesn't matter who you are, it's the Christian mill, and it doesn't matter who the faces are, as long as you got the numbers and you got the money coming in, you can get the bigger building. And this is also what has happened to our Christian religion in the over-industrialized, institutionalized, mechanized world. I got a text from an old church that I used to go to years ago. I still get the texts for some reason. I haven't opted out. But the text was like, hey, we love you coming to our church. We will be so happy to see you. And I was like, this was an automated text that goes out every week. That one guy probably changes the details, but he has no idea who I am, that I haven't gone to that church for years. And it's like, we love you. We can't wait for you to come. No, a machine created that message for me to make me feel connected when there's not real connection there anymore. It's a machine. Religion can become a machine. Politics can become a machine. The food you eat has become a machine. The medicine you take has become a machine. It's a machine feeding you lies, telling you it's good, but what do you really know about it? What do you really know about yourself? Guys, all of this draws back to knowing yourself more, knowing what your body is doing, knowing what is good for your body, investigating and experimenting and seeing, oh, maybe I should cut this food out or stop doing this thing or start doing that thing. You need to come back to yourself. An over-mechanized, industrialized, institutionalized world pulls you away from yourself. It robs you of your very soul. You lose yourself in it, guys. You become a cog in a machine, a part of a system. And the system becomes the thing that matters more than you as a part of it. And I've seen that in church after church. in many other ways. In our government, it's like the machine runs and people flow in and out of it, and it kills people, but new people come in, and the people no longer matter as long as the machine is running, and it consumes you, and you no longer matter. That is what we feel, guys, that we cannot name. Is, holy crap, I'm a part of a monster, that's a machine, that's a system, and I don't really matter anymore. The machine now matters, and the machine will consume me to survive. Whoa. Woo-hoo. And that's where we are. But the truth is, you always have a choice. It doesn't mean it's always easy, but you always have a choice, guys. You can get out. Don't try to jump off the moving train, though. Learn how to step back slowly. Try one thing. Change one thing. Learn one thing new. Start to look. Start to understand. If you've got some kind of medical issue, high blood pressure, diabetes, start to teach yourself about it. Start to educate yourself. Start to find your own remedies. Start to look at other remedies besides the drugs. If it's education, you don't need to go to an institution, guys. Start to educate yourself. Like, I've been educating myself for 30 years about the gospel and Jesus and Christianity. And guess what? The way I see it is very different. But what I've come to realize is the way I see it is a lot more organic and relational. And now I understand, and this is why I can see the institutional, mechanized, industrial church complex as it is, because when you're in it, it's all you know, and you think it's normal. It's because I've educated myself, read the Bible almost 200 times or more, gone to Bible college, I've written books, I'm in Scripture all the time, I'm praying, I'm asking God, God is leading. I took charge of my own spirituality. I did not go to the institution and just imbibe the doctrines and the beliefs there and not educate myself. It's because I've educated myself that I am here, and I can see there are some good things about the institution, but there's a lot of bad. And when you only know the institution, and that's the only way you know how to live, then it becomes your whole life, and you have nothing apart from it. And then you will literally die without it, and so you will defend it with your life, even though it is killing you and taking your life. And that is insanity, guys. But that is where we are. When the machine becomes your life support, but it is actually also sucking your life, damn, you are stuck. And you cannot get out of this thing that is keeping you alive without a lot of suffering. And that's where we are. It's going to take a lot of suffering, guys, but we can do it. We need to do it. You can do it for yourself. Start doing it for yourself. Freedom, guys, is the thing that the machine robs you from, and it's the thing that should motivate you to get up and get out of this over-industrialized, institutionalized, mechanized world. Look, I'm not a genius, guys. I'm a normal guy. I don't have anything that you don't have. I am just a normal guy. And I just had the benefit of a spirituality that allowed me to hear and follow God through some scary things. Things that I would not have naturally done on my own. Hey, Mr. Fly. But I was following God's leading, and I was following God into a lot of things that were fearful for me. And so it is scary. It's scary stepping out of the machine because you don't know how to live without it. But if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not special. I've struggled with depression, anxiety. I've had breakdowns and panic attacks. Guys, I don't have some kind of superpower, super spirituality. I have a God who is a superpower, who is super spiritual. And in key moments, I was able to follow his wisdom and mind instead of my own. Because in my mind, I would have never taken the risks I've taken to get here. And it is a risk, and it is scary, but it is also an adventure, and it also has drawn me closer to God, which has helped me get out of this over-mechanized, over-institutionalized, over-industrialized world. Because guys, it's a creation of Satan. I'll tell you that point blank. Satan creates the machine to kill you. God wants you to get out of it. He wants you to get you free from it. He can. Don't go to church for this, because the church today is more akin to Satan's mechanized monster machine than it is God's offer and way of freedom. Hey, like it or not, it's the truth. If you want to know how separated you are from the natural world, check your relationship with bugs. That'll tell you. They're a part of the natural world that God has created. If you are afraid of bugs, not criticizing you, but you are afraid of the natural world, which means you are not living in the natural world. You are living in a mechanized, industrialized, institutionalized world. This is the natural world. These things are a part of God just like us, right? We are the ones created more in the image of God, but all these things came from God. If you're afraid of the natural world, you're disconnected from God. If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Are you getting free? Dear Christian, are you getting free? Free from debt, free from slavery, free from anxiety, free from depression, free from anger, free from control? Are you getting more enslaved and more enslaved? And if you're getting more enslaved, guys, you are not participating with real Christianity. Woo! Guys, going to church, giving you 10%, singing 3 worship songs and hearing a 15-minute sermon, but not getting free is not Christian, okay? Your pastor may not be that Christian. Your church may not be that Christian. Christ came to set us free. If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Woo! Are you getting free? Is love and joy and peace, patience growing in you? If it is, you're heading the right way. If it's not, whoa. You may be involved in an institutional, mechanized, industrial church complex that is using you just like any machine uses you to sustain itself. It doesn't give a shit about you. You think your church and your pastor love you? How much money are they making? How nice is their building? How nice is their car, their clothes, their house? Guys, your pastor can preach the best damn sermon you've ever freaking heard every Sunday. Is it really about you? Or is it about them having a big crowd that loves them and comes to see them every week, and ooh, isn't that great, and gives them money? Whoa! So many church leaders throughout the history of the church have used the church and God and Christ to make money for themselves and build their own monuments to themselves and their religion and their denomination. And that's the truth, guys. Whoa. A real pastor, a real minister cares about you getting more free. And they will sacrifice their lives for you, because that's what Jesus did, and that's what Jesus shows us and calls us to do. Learning to fly, but I ain't got wings, and I don't know the rest of the words, but I still sings this song. Woo!
You are not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You are not the car you drive. You're not the contents of your wallet. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. That we're free to do anything.